let's start the session. So welcome to my session. It's around mastering Gemini CLI. Just a brief introduction of myself. Actually, I'm based in Hong Kong. I'm part of the Google Cloud team that helping our enterprise customer like adopting right now, like they're using AI for software delivery. Or my background is more around cloud native application design and development. So here I am. Has anyone been using this Gemini CLI? Can you raise your hand? Okay, I see some people. Jumbo use it. I know my friend here. And anyone been using this, or is it really new to you? First time to see this on the screen? Okay, try it at home. Really highly encouraging. But I just want to know, any of you like what sort of role you're doing? Are you like a developer or like an architect or just a non-technical person? Do you like raise your hand if you are like consider yourself as a technical developer, do coding, or maybe not just coding, but anything to do with software delivery? It could be like testing, QA, or could be just as a product owner or product manager. Just raise your hand. Okay, half of the room on this. Okay, that's good. Good news. But this tool actually you can use it for non-coding tasks. Say for example, if you got many photo albums on your machine, you can use this tool just to ask Gemini to help you organize the photos, especially if you've been to many like traveling and things, and you accumulate like years of photos, and you can just use it, just a simple prompt, and ask you to organize it by a time, by the location, maybe the trip that you had. So just one tips for using Gemini CLI. It's not just a developer-focused tool, but of course. The system prompt in the Gemini CLI is tuned towards for engineering or development tasks. So a brief intro, like why people using this kind of tool and why Google. I think we have a definitely unique advantage here. It's like the full stack integration. That means down to the hardware, we have the GPU to do the training and the inferencing of this large model. And because we own the full stack, so we can provide a really highly secure environment, so that ensure that your data is well treated, and just also we have a tight collaboration with Google Gemini team. So the latest the frontier Gemini model is always hopefully there will be a next release coming soon, and that will be integrated back to this type like the Gemini CLI, Copilot, or any other tools that you've been using in the Google ecosystem, and it's always built for enterprise. The best value for using Copilot or Gemini CLI is that you can get a flat monthly subscription license, so you don't need to worry about or you spend so many money hours of expectation, you know. So of course up to a quota, but it's predictable. So the cheapest you can get is like $19 a month, US dollar, to use it at your freedom. And the thirdly is around SDLC. SDLC is software development lifecycle. It's not new work. It's been around for decades. But what we are trying to solve the problem is not just only coding tasks. I mean, this kind of tool is amazing to generate a huge code base, and people saying that this takes like maybe a couple of minutes or an hour, and just the entire web application is generated, so it works. But still, there are many things that need to consider before you generate the code, and also after the code, to make sure that you're not like run into many issues or bugs, and you know that could be really troublesome. So this is the evolution over the past 2 or 3 years. So, and anyone remember when ChatGPT came out? Which year? Do you remember? 22? Yeah, like 3 years ago. And then we sort of catch up over that year, because I mean, at Google, we've been using AI for over a decade already. It's not just like when ChatGPT came out and we out of sudden we just saw, you know, everyone raising. to push the latest stuff out to the market. But I don't want to say that at the beginning it's all on the left-hand side where you ask the AI model to do some simple tasks like more like prompt and response, but you still like human in the way that you take the suggestion from the AI and then you just like, oh, okay, I maybe just merge it in my code base and do something. It's not as intelligent you might think. And in fact, that we released Gemini Code Assist 2 years ago. So that's around, just like after, if I remember correctly, it's around August 2023. So you see, the AI coding stuff is not like really new now, but it's just over the last 2 years that a lot of improvement. For example, in the middle or on the right, we are like going towards the agentic era, where you see we interact not just with the model, we interact with the agent. And you see there are like different instructions that you codify with the agent, so the agent can take your guidance and be more focused to carry various tasks. So you're getting, I mean, the human aspect is still good, but it's just less in the loop. And maybe in some use cases, for example, doing code review or automated testing, the human aspect is not even in the loop, or it's just getting minimum there. But I would always say that the human part is still essential. I'm going to talk about some issues and something that you might be seeing. So, anyone familiar with this term, white coding? Anyone doing that? If you have used this kind of tools, you're probably doing that. And this is coined by Andrew. He's just a computer scientist. What he said is like where you fully give in the whites and embrace the exponential and forget the code even exists. So it sounds like just a lay person can build a full-blown, say, application and just push it to the market and get like millions of people using it, right? That just sounds scary to you. Wouldn't be that any problem, but I think it so depends where, like, what your background. You've been as a software developer for some time. When you see this terminology, you feel a bit scary, daunting. But if you are more like non-tech or a business user or just maybe this is like a student, you just sort of get learning this kind of thing. You think, oh, it's magic. So they're like two sides of the coin to be aware of this. And seen this before, like where two engineers can create a completely new thing, but you need like 50 engineers to fix all these problems with white coding. So if you just search on the internet or Google along with many people just talk about these kind of jokes. But here we are. So what's the issues that we're getting with white coding is AI is not human, as in it doesn't like good at mind reading. And often, I mean, I'm going to say that we the human, we often being lazy, as in we don't want to like write so many things. We just rely on the AI. Okay, just do the guesswork, maybe out of some weird prompts, which is often that's where the cause of the issue here, right? Because the AI would take your prompt and it might come up with really bad assumptions, or you might just hallucinate. And that definitely will affect the code quality, the work that you're doing. And it's definitely prone to endless break fix cycle. And we tried before, like I just prompt to build a web front end, and out of a sudden, when it does the automated testing with the agent, it just sort of it breaks down, and then you just keep having the human nature. Okay, just try to insert some snippet, and oh, does it fix the problem? Oh no, that's going wrong. And just go in cycle, and that's where you will just burn down all the context window you have. Even if Gemini has like 1 million context window, it sounds a lot. Even like the core model they do it as well, the lasers like Sonnet and things like that. But still, context window is a precious resource that you should be aware of. So for those who've been doing software development or work with the even as a like a product manager or like business analyst, you probably work with your tech people and you've been through this different life cycle. So it's nothing new here. And so you typically take a feature request or bug, and then you just from the backlog you use agile like methodology like Scrum or whatever, how you name it. It's pretty much the same, right? You go through this cycle, you do the design, you probably start the coding and have the test strategy and the review and all the documentation and just be ready for production. So, but this is over the past 2 years, AI can take a role in some of the tasks. So, it's, for example, like documentation. We are really lazy. We just don't like writing document. And people have a saying that actually the documentation is just part of the source code. So why bother to write it? And now we have the agentic thing, even like Gemini CLI does it, or the other coding agent you might be seeing out in the market. It does the more the complex multi-step tasks. So it's sort of, for example, like the coding and the testing phase can be sort of bundled together, and that's great thing for you. But that would be in this situation, right? If you just follow the white coding pattern, like I just prompt something and the agent comes back and then you just follow along, you will probably end up with many issues. But actually, there's a way that you can overcome that. With more, I call it structured agentic development, or I don't have a good word for that, but it's just the principle is to make it, as in give more guidance and let the agent to be more focused, and you will get a better result out of that. So now the question is how we can make agentic software development to be more safe and predictable. I think this is the key message on the bring in this talk. These are the key features you've probably seen, or if you have been using Gemini CLI. I mean, it does great things like it understand your file system. You can do some update and run shell command. And also you can run it in a sandbox. You will want a more secure environment so that in case there's something wrong, it doesn't blow up the machine. But I want to focus on the third and the fourth part here. It's more around the hierarchical context, the memory, the custom command MCP. I think this is what are the tools available that you can make Gemini CLI or any like this agentic coding tool to be more effective here. So I'll just come to the point of bring up this concept of context engineering. Maybe some of you have heard of it. Prompt engineering was more the hot topic by the past 2 years, but now, if you understand what context engineering is, it definitely help you to work with AI, even though the model is not the most powerful one. I think the essence here is around providing the right information at the right time. Of course, with the tools and all the, maybe you heard about MCP or RAG, that kind of terminology, but it's just essentially just bring the right information to the AI. So that the AI could give you the best output you want, and that also is for the agent. If you map this terminology back to the Gemini CLI, actually there is some, I mean, this is called the MCP server, the Gemini, the ambient memory. It has a coverage on this. So it's not just on the user prompt. If you're thinking, oh, okay, I'm interacting with the agent, that's user prompt. Definitely just part of it, but have an awareness like how you tune this system so that it just does the thing you want. So this is the best practices already from Gemini CLI that when you use it, be aware that these are the things that can make it better. It's around, I think a typical pattern I'm seeing is people, when they want to do a complex task with the agent, you can, that would go to the last one I will go into a bit more detail video. I'll show some example in a lot of time. It's around the workflow. It's to have a workflow as what I mean is it's a bit like how you do a project, for example, like you always do like planning, you refine the plan, you validate the plan, of course, and then you start doing it, and then you do validation, testing, and go back. So it's like cycle, right? It's a workflow. It's a cyclic workflow, right? And but what I want to say that even within the workflow, is there's so many steps back to that picture on the SDLC, where so many spaces like from design, coding, testing, and production. Often when you come to the plan, you do a lot of the research or reasoning. I think that's the part where you might want like a model like Gemini 2.5 Pro to do a lot of the upfront reasoning, and then you can ask it to come up with a plan. And once you have finished that, you can clear the context as the first point, so that you can start fresh with the agent. Because since you have the artifact, the marks, I mean, you will probably see a lot of markdown files. It's just a way to contain that information for the agent to do the subsequent tasks in the execution of the implementation side of it. So clearing the context for each phase of the workflow is important, and also to do the check safe quite often somehow. Maybe you do something here, you want to branch out to do a task A, and maybe come back and task B, so you can just do check, save, and resume. That would definitely help you a lot. And memory files, as I said, like the plan.md, Gemini MD, it's just the context, we call it long-term memory for the agent, so that say, for example, you do something over like the morning, and then something, it's lunchtime, you want to go out and get some lunch, or you use it to the toilet, and you come back. And you just don't need to worry about that the agent might not be like losing the context from the previous session that you've been playing with it. And I think Git version control is really important. If it does something wrong, you can always go back, and you see why that. And then you can switch to different branches. So when you do something, often it's not linear. You can like do things sort of in parallel here. And I think auto-model routing is a new feature part of the Gemini CLI with the latest version. So I want to say that often I meeting customer, they just keep saying, oh, okay, I have to use the Pro model because that's the best for the reasoning, and it does great stuff in coding. I'm not like going to use Flash, but I can tell you what, if you've been doing the context entering stuff up front with all this plan artifact, the markdown files, actually the Gemini Flash is not that bad. It does, I mean, once you have the right context, back to the thing I say, the right information, you get the right time, and you get the best output, then Gemini Flash actually does great thing for you. You can just play around, just try when at home. And now I go on to the step-by-step workflow here. Clear planning, testing code is essential here. And I want to say, maybe go to before I go to workflow, but I'll just give one example. When you don't have such a workflow, what the code base is like. Let's jump to here. Let me check the time. Hopefully I still got enough time to show something here. So actually what I'm doing here is, say, I can't really hold my mic while I'm typing, but let me try. I actually got, in a software development, you probably may be using like Jira, Confluence, that kind of thing. Then I have a Jira ticket. Say I want to build our API here. And so this is the PRD, the product requirement document, or like the specification, depending on how we call it. But anyway, the internet is slow. I don't know why. But okay, so first things first is to clear the context, as I say, and I can just like query things like, okay, show me my Jira ticket. So I'm using the MCP server to get this kind of information. I just want to just do this. And I should have two tickets here. Okay, that's the PRD for building an API. And I got 3 tickets here, but there's only 2 assigned to me. So I suppose the agent will just come back and say, and yeah, by the way, when you execute MCP server, it will ask you like permission. So I just allow my lessons out of what like keep entering, and you do a shift tab, you can when it wants to update some files, it will automatically update for you. So less doing the yes no answer here, and it looks up the ticket. So I got 2 here, and what actually I can do is I want to build this out, but because of time, because I run all this execution already. But I just want to show you one thing here is around the repository here. So I have it on a branch. It's called Y baseline. I call this Y because I can actually use Y coding, not the workflow that I'm going to describe. So the end result again is that I, based on that PRD, I show you on Jira, and I ran just using like straight one shot or few shot prompting, and I came up with this API source code. But the problem you see here is, okay, you got the endpoint like posting this product object to the API, and then it does some, oh, it looks great, right? It has some error handling, it looks reasonable, but you see, you start seeing bad software engineering practices here. It's like, oh, why did this API, so the service tier, the service layer, it has some database layer here. So you see, in software engineering, it's all around that's where like high cohesion, low coupling, but it's like tight coupling here. So the agent doesn't sort of know what's the best engineering practice that should follow. And then you start seeing the problem here. I've got like various endpoint, like the CLI kind of API. So this is just a product, but I still have like other endpoints, not just product, like history, the product history. So what happens if I add additional endpoint here? Maybe not just on product catalog, maybe it's the customer profile, and then this becomes a monolithic mess. And that went back to the picture like someone that's struggling, and that could you just like building up for the bigger issues later, down the road, I would say. So this is what why coding might get you to. The way to overcome this whole problem is back to the thing I mentioned, is you have a workflow, or sort of structured way of doing agentic software development. And what I can do is I switch to another branch here. So I did like use other words like prototyping. And maybe I just go to this prototype branch, checkout branch, but I just want to go back in time, so I just reset the branch to something like not here. This generate the quote. Maybe that's the markdown file here. So I'll just reset the branch to this commit and just do a hard reset. Okay, so I'm there now. And so this is the directory I'm working with, the API, the immaterial API. It doesn't have any source file here yet. It's just the plan.md file. This is what I want to show you here. But before I show you, I can just run a command to show you how you can come up with this. Imagine I haven't done this. I don't have the plan here. It's just an empty directory here. And so maybe I'll just collapse this. And I just want to cheat here with a command. But okay. So you want to install some extension. Maybe I should jump into this. I want to talk about this in a moment, but before going to BT, I'll just jump ahead of it. In Gemini CLI, there's an extension catalog. If you're not aware of, yeah, good. Thanks for that. And it's just a packaging of MCP server and custom command and context file, like the general MD. So that what it does is you can teach the agent with new skills, like doing code review, security review, and testing, and all this kind of thing, and even to have the skills to get the Jira information. But this the two custom command that I recommend you can try that yourself. I'm going to just show you this plan command, so that it does the plan refine and acting work that I want to introduce. And blueprint this extension, it just goes the extra mile around doing just break down the markdown file into smaller pieces for easier management. And actually, there's two more things. Or stack it. Maybe I don't have time on BMM method. I wish I could have a whole hour to talk about this, because this can be really useful. But just for simplicity, given the time constraint, I just go to the plan here. Here, yeah. So I can just do like plan, and I got all this custom command. And what I can do is like I can come up with a new plan for that PLD. And I'm just cheating because I have this already available. By okay, that's this one. Plan, and always look up the PLD from the Jira ticket, DU3, and just make sure it's up to date, and the PLD requirement describes the API backend endpoint. I want to use Express.js to implement it. So when I hit this thing, and then we just look up Jira again, maybe, because I always ask you to do it. to ensure that it has the latest information. So it goes back to Jira or the Yadi. And then after that, you should come up with a markdown file or file similar to this. I'll just let it run because of time. I'll just code this thing. So after this command, what you get is you will get something like this, a to-do list, and then the investigation, the analysis, and all these things. And you get the step-by-step implementation, like what you start the Node.js project in step-by-step. It gives you the idea what the agent will do when you go into the execution, the implementation phase. And that is more a structured approach rather than just the white coding. And then also you can have the understanding of the data model here. And you can see the file are more structured in a way that you can see the path. You put the data model as a model folder, a subfolder, rather than just a whole thing, a monolithic structure here. Yeah. So okay, so after run it, and you can see that the plan file. Actually, try modify my existing plan file, but anyway, yeah. But this here you go. I just wanted to show you this one. The preview, the one that's just ran, and so it got I think it has the directory structure somehow. Yeah, so it's like this. It's more modularized here. Yeah, so that's one of the key things I want to show. Okay, I know I only have 2 more minutes. So spec kit is something you can try yourself as well. And VMAT, I think, is more complicated because if you know Agile, Scrum, that are software, it has like sub-agents, like a PO, a Scrum Master, a Dev, UX, Architect. Imagine it's like even a startup founder, and you don't want to hire anyone, you can use the VMAT platform. That's all the great things for you. I tried it myself before. But I think the spec kit is a good tool you can try out. As in, because I don't have time, but it's very simple. You got a project, and you just install the spec kit from GitHub, and then it has. It's just very simple. You just do a specify init, then you can have your project to be having this custom command, the spec kit custom command here. If I just switch to this branch, I know I want to steal like 2 more minutes to wrap up. I do apologize, but I know half an hour is just not enough for all this talking. But okay, spec kit, this one. Yeah, let's check out this branch. There's a couple of local changes here. Okay, so I'll just clear this. Start the file, and let's check out this branch. Okay, and make sure we set it. So it should be okay. Right. So once I'm on this spec branch, I'll just quit it. Oops. Why it hangs? Okay, don't worry. Okay, let's just assign a Gemini here. And once I started, you will get like some additional custom command here, like spec kit specify and plan. It's similar to the plan command I have, but it's just more advanced in the way that you can use it to generate sorry, not this one, but specify, and I think we got the this stuff, but where's it? So it doesn't, it loses or something here, but okay. Okay, so maybe I'll just jump to this branch thing. Yeah, just switching between things that might get. Okay, it's back to here, and yeah, okay, see it. So what you can do with spec is you can generate something more advanced. Like you can come up with an API, like an open API spec for this API, that which I couldn't get in the previous simple extension with the thing. So this is a API YAML, and in that you also can get like the plan.md. Yeah. You see, you just the documentation is slightly better here, and you just got all the structure, and it has the tracking. And I'll just say it's more closer to how you might just do a project here than just the other extension. But I just want to say the other extension, even though it seems not simple, but I think if you're not doing a full project, then I think that would definitely help. At least, maybe not just on the coding side, but as in you've got a serious task you want the agent to achieve, then having a plan that would help to focus for that. And making a little spec as well. Yeah. So in spec kit, you can also it breaks down my PRD into user story. So you're familiar with agile, methodology. All this user story as a user, I want to be able to list the product and filtering that out, blah blah blah, and yeah, it also goes into way that with the functional requirement. So this is all AI generated. I didn't do this, but it's grounded with my PRD, and also have a success criteria. Yeah. So it's amazing, I want to say. That's second. VMAT, I leave you to explore that at your own time. If you got time after this talk, you want to learn, I can chat to you about it. But I'll also wrap up with this DORA report as a DevOps research assessment. Is a thing that we do annually, and we survey around 5,000 tech professionals, and this is what they say. They most recently they spend around 2 hours median using AI for doing software delivery or development or engineering, and around 65% they've relied a model or greater as in reliance on AI. And there's a lot of people, like 70%, that use it to write new code. And you break down into the use cases, the tasks that they do. Of course, as I said, writing new code is the top one. And then if you go down to the list, like doing documentation. As I said earlier, people are really lazy, just don't want to write docs. And I mean, this agentic AI thing does help. And also like testing and debugging, that kind of thing definitely help. So just want to say, AI, of course, is an amplifier, but you should be like aware of the context entering software, because it can be in a good way or bad way as well. And actually, what we see that a performance team, if they have a good, say, a data ecosystem, internal platform, a good team culture, good processes, AI definitely can help amplify the performance. But if you don't have all this in place, you've been risk scrappy. I think AI definitely can give you a roadblock here. So you check out the DORA website, and so this is the last slide of today. Of course, try with Gemini CLI. Obviously, you haven't done it, and also the extensions, the 4 different extensions that I kind of mentioned there. If you want to go to the this here, you can just search like plan, and then you'll find this plan command I mentioned. If you do like blueprint, it's the other one. It's all here. Yeah, blueprint is this one. It's just a simple command. Gemini extension install with the GitHub link, and then you get it. And for spec kit and BMAT, you just search on Google and you will find it. This is on another GitHub repo. This middle one, do recommend to read it. It does tell you more around this one here. Ideas and guidance for AI agentic coding. It's just a one page, it's not long, but you will find it valuable how you can practically use this kind of agentic coding tools more effectively. It does cover some of the ideas that I saw briefly introduced in this session. And lastly, I mean, not least, just download the report and understand how other people are using AI out in the world. So thank you, everyone. Hopefully it gives you some insight. And yeah, thank you. Any questions? Can I take any questions? Any time for that? Like 5 minutes? Okay. Any questions? Feel free to ask. You want to have a one-on-one chat with me? It's okay. After this session, it's up to you. Yeah. Any question?